Shields up, Paladins, and welcome to a For Honor Hero Guide. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'll be talking to you all about the Aramusha and how I like to use this particular character. The Aramusha is one of the hybrid characters within the Samurai faction. He has a medium difficulty rating, as well as he's a counter attacker and a fast attacker. His base stats are his health is set to 120, his stamina is set to 120, and his sprint speed is set to 2.4 milliseconds. Now with all this being said and done, let's go ahead and jump right on over to his feats. So his tier 1 feats are Iron Lungs, which is a passive ability. He can still sprint when out of stamina. Bounty Hunter, which is a passive ability. Gain health and stamina when you kill another hero. And Deadly, which is a passive ability. Attacks deal slightly more damage every 3 seconds. His tier 2 feats are Smoke Bomb, which is throw a smoke bomb on the ground that breaks the lock. Juggernaut, you're slowed and gain high damage reduction, slippery and uninterruptible. And then finally Rocksteady, which is a passive ability. You cannot be unbalanced by parries or throws. His tier 3 feats are Second Wind, which is recover some of your health. Sharpened Blade, which attacks inflict low damage over time. And Flaming Arrows, which is fire an arrow dealing fire damage. And then finally for his tier 4 we have Arrow Storm, which is an aerial attack that deals medium damage in multiple areas. Stalwart Banner, nearby allies continuously regain health. And then Fear itself, which is nearby enemies have lower defenses. Now for me, the way the feats that I like to run in this particular case for the Aramusha would be Bounty Hunter, Juggernaut, Second Wind, and either Stalwart Banner or Fear itself, depending if I'm attacking or defending, either in Breach or in Dominion. If it's in Dominion, I usually run Fear itself. But the time I do change the course is when either if I'm attacking or defending within Breach. The reason why I use that again for his tier 1 Iron Lungs, there's really no point, in my personal opinion, on having that, simply because if you're in a 1v1 situation and you do get out of stamina and you do try to run away, the enemy team or the enemy person is going to be right there behind you, so there's really no point in that. Deadly could be good. Again, it's in every 3 seconds. I do see some Aramushas actually run Deadly, simply for that extra damage. You know, any extra damage is better than nothing. But I like to run Bounty Hunter just because I like to play the longevity. Anything that helps me stay up, as in, you know, more defense, more health, where I can lower their defense, you know, kind of make it easier for me to actually kill somebody and actually for me to be able to stay up. That's what I usually like. Hence why I run Bounty Hunter for his tier 1. His tier 2, again, almost every single Aramusha you will run up against will have Rocksteady. Rocksteady is a pretty OP kind of, almost his best ability that he has on his tier 2, in my personal opinion. Smoke Bomb could be good. There's a lot of samurai that actually do run Smoke Bomb. But in this particular case, for the Aramusha, I would say Rocksteady would be better. Juggernaut, that's sure, he does have the speed that he's able to attack with. And he does have that high damage reduction where he can also not be guard broke, because Juggernaut has the slippery effect. Also that he's also uninterruptible, so pretty much that means he can keep on swinging. So that would be good in a sense, but that's only for a short amount of time. Where Rocksteady in this case is constant. You cannot be thrown, you can't be knocked down, you can't be, if someone pops revenge, you know, you will not fall down. There are some cases where if you are going up against a Jormungandr, they will knock you down, but you will be able to get right back up. and block their attack. So that is one thing that you can kind of do or watch out there. But that's really about the only time that you have to really be careful with that is. So his tier 2 definitely rock steady. His tier 3, really, his tier 3 is user preference in this particular case. I like Second Wind, again, just because of that longevity. Sharpened Blade could be good. You know, like I said, he is a quick attacker. He does have an infinite combo that he can do in several different ways. So that would be, you know, you got definitely that going on for you. Flaming Arrows could be good since you do have a Sunda on your team that benefits from fire damage, so that could be beneficial as well to either not yourself but even as a team player. So really, that's kind of user preference in my personal opinion. And finally, for his tier 4, as I've already stated earlier, Stalwart Banner or Fear Itself. That's really depending on if you're attacking or if you're defending in that particular case. So for his perks that I would like to go with would be Shields Up, Bastion, and Vengeful Barrier. He's got a couple other perks that really become null and void, and I can't remember what they are with some of the feats that he has. So some of the other perks really become null and void with the setup that I've got. So in this particular case, Shields Up, that pretty much allows you to take another light attack, which is not really that much, but it could be beneficial. Bastion, of course, you already know what that does, gives you a little bit more defense. And then Vengeful Barrier, that is also whenever you are in revenge, you get 25% more shield. So that will help you stay up and everything like that. So now, with all that being said and done, let's go ahead and jump right on over to his hero-specific movesets. Now, up on the screen, you will see what the hero tactics is wanting to teach you about the Aramusha, the combos that he has. And while that's going on, I will be talking about what his hero-specific moveset is, which isn't a lot, surprisingly, for a hybrid character. So his renown is balanced across all activities. Revenge mode, of course, boosts damage and health. All attacks are uninterruptible. Parries and throws knock enemies down. Attacks are auto-parried upon activation. You have a Blade Blockade, which is pressing down on the right analog stick to gain a full block stance briefly. Successfully blocking allows the Aramusha to counterattack with some special moves. Chain Finisher. Chains can be finished with a strong final strike by performing a heavy attack, which is R2 for the PS4, in the same direction that the last strike was performed from. Attack from the top if in top stance, and the attack from the side if from a side stance. Now you got the Vulnerable Front Dodge. Unlike other heroes, the Aramusha does not possess any guard during his front dodge. Swift Reprisal, which is Twin Vipers and Rushing Wind, are considered to be a heavy chain starters. Deadly Feint, you can cancel any of your heavy finishers and Twin Vipers with a light attack in the different direction. Special move cancels, Twin Viper and Rushing Wind can be cancelled with Circle, which is the feint button on the PS4. Zone Attack cancels. Zone Attack can be cancelled before the second strike, again with Circle on the PS4, and Befuddled. So if you miss a sprint attack, you can follow up with another sprint attack from the other side. Again, so that is if you kind of misjudge something, or if you really want to kind of throw the enemy off, if they're kind of not paying attention to you, you can definitely go in with your second attack on that. Then boom, once you hit that, you can go right into your unlimited combo, and then boom, there you go again. And that is really pretty much about the Aramusha. I like to use him almost like a heavy character. And the reason why I say that is because he can play the longevity game. He can, as long as you can stay up and the enemy team is going to be, or your team is going to be right there with you, trying to help you take out whoever's there with you on the points or on the healing or whatnot. He's a good balanced overall character. He does have some things that could be changed, in my opinion. But one of the things that I would say is his all guard stance, which is pretty much his bread and butter. Now, a lot of things you can do with that. You can feint people into that. And again, if you're confused by the all guard stance, think of the Conqueror or the Black Prior, for an example, or even Naboshi or JJ for another example, where they have that dodge back. You can kind of feint people or trick people into going for that constantly. Then you can kind of mix it up and change it up that way. Now, one of the things that you can also do is if you do have Rock Steady, which pretty much again makes you pretty much a daggone powerhouse already, because you can't be knocked down. Then if the enemy team is focusing you, you can then go ahead and watch out for that all guard stance, go ahead and knock them out of it, or do the kick to knock them back, and then you can follow up with that. So there's a lot of things. I would say the Aramusha as a hybrid character is a very, very good team player. I would have to say, if just pay attention to who's on your team. If you got a Jormungandr, definitely follow up with that kick with the all guard. You know, that will knock him down. Boom, Jormungandr can go in, get his shield, then do 50 damage to you. If you got somebody else, or if you're trying to get someone out of stamina, go ahead and do your light attack. Your all guard light attack, boom, that gets him there. If you're good at switching stances, he's a good mind game type of character that I know I follow him for it several times. That the Aramusha can change up his attacks while going into his unlimited combo, and that gets me sometimes, and I know that gets some other people too. So all in all, I would say the Aramusha is a very good character. Very good character for mind games, also as a team player. But particularly whenever you're, if you have either a Jormungandr or a Sunda that deals with the fire damage, you can kind of mix and match your feats to kind of help your team out in the long run. So that's kind of how I use the Aramusha and everything else. If there's something that I definitely missed, in a comment below, let me know, guys. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.